Hey, on today's show, I want to talk about what you should do if you are injured while training. The short answer would be you need to take time off and get better. I think sometimes doing that is difficult, especially when you really love the sport and you love doing jiu-jitsu. You want to be on the mat and you want to be with your friends, and you feel like everyone else is getting better while you're on the sideline hurt. So yeah, the short answer is take time off. I started jiu-jitsu in 2016. I think within the first year I hurt my right knee. I was doing a scissor sweep and I did something wrong, and I think I ended up kind of heel hooking it the way that I was trying to rotate my body, and my foot was stuck, and just the way the knee kind of spun. And I didn't know what I had done at first. It did swell up as big as a grapefruit, and I just tried to ignore it the rest of that day and just kind of keep going. The head coach, the professor, Professor Mark, wanted to roll with me right after I got hurt. And in my mind, I was thinking, oh no, I might get promoted. So I ran over there and rolled with him, and my knee was really hurt. And then all day it was pretty bad. I mean, you could see it, even through my pants, just the knee was so swollen. So I ended up going to the doctor, a sports medicine doctor. He looked at it, moved it around. They do all this stuff where they move things around, and he was like, hey, everything's fine, you're all good. He goes, I don't think there's any tears or any major injuries in there, you just need to take some time off. And I didn't listen to him. I actually, when he told me everything was good and okay, I took that as, all right, well, there's no real injury, I'm going to go and train some more. And so I started training again pretty soon after that, and it wasn't ready. So what I would do is I would compensate. So in the moments where I knew I couldn't shrimp off my right leg, I would start to adjust and use my left, and I ended up hurting my left knee also. So at one point I had actually injured both knees just because I was being stubborn and not taking the time off that I should have taken off for healing to take place. But I did end up taking, I think, about 5 months, basically forced, because I was in so much pain. And after that 5 months, and I started to feel better, I still wore knee braces, and I still stayed on my back, just trying to take care of myself. And the good thing about that is I learned defense real well, and I learned how to manage my space, even being flat, because going onto my shoulder required a pushing of the knee to get up on my shoulder, because they always, we're always taught, don't be flat on your back. So I learned to operate flat on my back. And obviously I would have to come up sometimes, but I just made adjustments, and I didn't use my legs that much. And I can't remember exactly how I did it all. I do those things naturally now while I'm rolling. I still do that same kind of those same kind of techniques, or that same way of doing those adjustments, because of that injury. So yeah, some good came from that. It did help my game. It gave me a time to be beat up a lot and learn defense and take care of my neck and my arms and all that good stuff. But in short, I would definitely, if I could go back, I wish I would have just taken the time off at the beginning, because I think I'd be in better shape right now. So because I didn't take off and I injured myself way worse in both knees, I've been dealing with my knee injuries for, I guess now, 7 years. So every time I train, I'm thinking about my knees. Every time I stretch, I'm thinking about my knees. When I'm at home working, everything it almost revolves around, okay, can I do this and not do this? Because if I do this, what's going to happen? How am I going to feel later on in my knees? I'm only 40. I'm a little bit older than I was when I started, and I know that has something to do with it. But I do wish I would have taken the advice of that doctor and taken time off. And I've had other injuries too, like elbows, arms, my neck, and my shoulder also. And that comes down to this point is, your body a lot better than anyone else. So when you should stop, when you should keep going. And there's times whenever your mind will fool you into thinking you can keep going when you can't keep going. And so I think those are moments when you say, hey, you know what? I'm a little hurt right now. I need to slow down so I can continue to train later on. And I've even heard that put with people who say his name is Rafael Lang, and someone asked him how he'd been training so long. He said, because I learned to tap, which is, I mean, that's a great answer. You know, you see people get injured because they don't want to tap, and they end up hurting the longevity of being in jiu-jitsu. And I want to train as long as possible. And at 40, I want to train till I'm 60, 70 years old. So I need to learn obviously I've learned even more now to take care of my body. And I want the same for you. For those that are white belts watching this, you get injured, hey, take time off to get better. The same with blue belts. If you're blue, purple, all of us, every rank, I would encourage you that when you are injured, to take time off. And I see that with black belts at our school. If they're hurt or injured, they will take time off. It's always the one, even brown belts, and I've taken off time recently when I hurt my knees again on a freak accident where the mat was real slick and I tried to press off and my knee went downward as my body went back towards the pressure of pushing on the knee, and it popped real. I couldn't even walk. All right, so in short, I just want to tell you this. If you're injured, I would take the time off to get better. And if you're stubborn and you're going to roll no matter what, obviously you're going to make the adjustments needed to take care of yourself in that moment, but just know the repercussions may be heavier than you want them to be later on down the road, and no one's learning the secret move without you. And yeah, people probably are going to get better when you're not on the mat, but you'd be surprised when you get back on just how quickly you will recover and gain a lot of that skill really quickly. So it's really up to you. You need to decide what you're going to do. And I hope there's other people that comment on this and encourage you, if you've been injured, to take the time to get better. All right. Have a good one.